Hi guys, welcome back to this format My Take, and today I want to talk about cars. I want to talk about the automotive industry, which I find very interesting. I read something on the internet in the last couple of weeks. We've been hearing a lot of problems related to the COVID-19 and the crisis that is causing to the automotive industry, and today I want to talk about it. So we all know that the automotive industry has been going through a crisis, I think, in the last decade, but more importantly, in the recent times that has intensified due to COVID-19. We saw in the first quarter of 2020 almost a 90% drop in the number of cars that have been sold, and of course that had a huge impact on an industry that was already suffering. So a crisis means lower sales, means normally big discounts on vehicles that have been already produced, and therefore small profits. When I say small profits, I am quite positive, because normally in the recent years we have seen many brands that experience a loss and not a profit at all. So I would say lower margins, lower production margins, sometimes negative, and a loss. So for this reason, you see most brands to reduce the number of models that are produced. We have seen for many years an increasing number of models, all kind of small variations between one model and another, and every brand was at a certain point producing probably 10, 15, 20 models, like completely out of control. Today we see a decrease in this number because brands can only afford to produce what they can sell. And unfortunately, for who is passionate about cars, the models that normally people that are passionate like are not the ones that the brands like to produce. Why? Because if you think about coupes, sport cars, convertible cars, these do not make the numbers. You see city cars and SUVs. These are the type of cars that sell, and therefore you see that the market is shrinking and producing only this type of models and not anymore the nice ones that we all like to drive. This is because they only can afford to produce products that will be successful and that will sell. So the first question now, from a customer experience, customer feedback point of view, is how can an automotive player determine what model would be successful and what not, and what features of that product would be necessary to make it successful or not. I think that considering that today's decisions, when we're talking about deciding which car to purchase, most decisions are made online. Especially in this period where we are forced to stay home and when we don't go out that much, I'm sure we all have been researching something about cars on the internet, and there are certain sources that really ramped up very quickly. For example, videos with video reviews of cars, or experts that talk about cars that have seen their audience to increase rapidly. So the opinion of customers like us is formed over the internet, and it's over the internet that brands, manufacturers need to spend their time and to understand which are exactly those features that they need to put in the next model. I wrote down some data sources that, based on my experience with Wonderflow, but also based on my experience as someone that is passionate about cars, I think that they are extremely relevant for manufacturers today. Review sites, and it's full. They're very popular, mainly in the United States, not as much in Europe, but very good source, and there's plenty of them. I could also say forums, but analyzing what customers say in forums, it's somehow more difficult than analyzing a more structured review website. Then the second data source that, in my opinion, it's almost the most important one, but it will for sure become the most important one, is YouTube videos and comments. So what people say in videos and what viewers of those videos write down in comments. That is the most important thing. That is where, if you are an automotive player, you have to go and read what you have to put in your next car, or how your next car should look like, or which would be the engine, or what would you do, what should you do, you should do to make it successful. No? So we're talking about video and text, two things, quite challenging to interpret it, but if you can do it, maybe with the software, it's amazing. The dealer network is also another amazing source of insight. When customers visit the dealer, they are almost never asked to talk about their experience, to let's say write down what they were looking for and if they found it, and what's their experience with their current car and so on. If we would enable them to leave their feedback, their opinion, in an easier way, I think that could also become a very important source. Another, and probably last, very important source is the service center. So service centers, which for service center I mean the place where you, the official place of the manufacturer, where you normally bring the car for planned maintenance or when something happens to your car. And when you go there and when your car is repaired and you pick it up, it's a very good moment for manufacturers to collect feedback. And I know some of the major brands, they do that. We analyzed that with Wonderflow in the past, so I know for sure that's happening. I think it's a very good source, not only because it's a direct contact with customers, but also because it enables manufacturers to learn about the product, but also to learn more about the experience, about the service itself, which is an important part of the customer journey. And it plays a crucial role in the purchase decision of your next car. Now we have seen, now you don't buy just anymore one product, but you buy a product and the service that comes with it for the next 2 years. So very important. And if we do an analysis not just of our products, but if we try to put together more players that compete in our same industry, in our same category, in our same market, we can spot trends that, in my opinion, are crucial to intercept, to design and win this competitive game in these next few years. And with that, I think I want to provoke you a bit, and I want to hear your feedback on this. But we always hear about electric cars. So I did a small research. Everyone is talking about electric cars. All manufacturers claim that they're producing electric cars. But if I search for comments on videos that talk about electric cars on YouTube, for example, I hardly find positive comments. I hardly find people that would say that they would buy it, that they like it, that this is what they need, that they want to pay for it. So apparently nobody wants electric cars. I managed to find some data from 2019 related to the sales of electric cars in my home country, which is Italy. And I think in total in Italy in 2019 were sold 1.7 million cars. And you know how many electric cars? 10,000 out of 1.7 million is nothing. It's zero. It's literally, if we approximate, it's 0%. So there are no electric cars. There is a lot of talking about electric cars, but there are no electric cars sold in the market. It's nothing, zero. So why a manufacturer should produce today something that nobody wants? Let me know what you think. Fantastic if we can keep this conversation going, and I really look forward to hear your feedback. Ciao.